For this presentation, I will be showing some 3-line, 3-hold key telephones. These phones were made by ITT, Stromberg Carlson, Automatic Electric, Like, which AE bought out, and I believe Northern Electric also made them, but I'm not 100% sure about that. The manufacturers made them all in rotary or tone. This was a bad idea whose time should have never come. These phones suck badly from a user point of view. Their hold is done on each individual telephone, and if you put a phone on hold or a call on hold on a phone and you go to the other phone to pick up the call, you have to release the call that was on hold on the phone that the call was placed on hold by. So it required a multi-step process. So during an incoming call, the clear lamp would has a neon lamp in it, and it would flutter while the line was actually ringing. So the only indication of an incoming call is during the actual ring cycle. Most of these phones had standard single line ringers in them, which meant if you had 2 lines, one phone would ring in one line and the other phone would ring on the other line. You could add a local external ringer for the second or third line. Some of the phones did have a ringer built that could hook up to multiple phone lines. I've never seen one. I've only seen pictures of one. The idea behind this was to be able to provide some type of a hold without a key system, which in its day was expensive. So I would dial the number of line 1 in this phone, and you'll see the light light up during the ringing. When the phone lines were in use, the red light on all phones would be illuminated. That would tell the other phone users that line was in use. However, when you put it on hold, the red light also indicated that the line was in use or on hold. Kind of a hokey situation, but that's how they worked. Automatic Electric bought out Like Electric, and Like had also a 3-line, 3-hold phone. This phone was even worse than the ITT and Stromberg. That particular phone we're looking at does not have lamps. It's just simply a 3-line phone. You have no idea if the line is in use unless you just press the button on the phone, if you had multiple phones, and heard conversation on it. You can put it on hold, but there's no indication that it's on hold. Only thing that lights up is one of the buttons during the ringing cycle. These phones were used in a lot of businesses that had 1 or 2 lines, 2 or 3 phones. They also made wall phones for 3-line, 3-hold as well. This is the mini IDF I have for the ComKey phones and the 3-line, 3-hold. This is mounted below the phones and is incredibly difficult to work on. I wired this prior to mounting it because I have run out of space to terminate the individual 25 pair cables. The 3-line, 3-hold used around 12 pairs of wire, because you had signal buttons as well as extra leads for ringers and so forth. So you'd have 3 phone lines going into it, tip and ring for each line, and then there was a lamp plus the 10 volts AC to operate the lamps, a common ground, a signal ground, and then a few leads to have hooked up for buzzers and so forth if you put an intercom on this. You'd have to have an external 24-volt power supply and a intercom card, probably a manual card like a 401 for an example, in order to provide the talking power between the phones. Here's a close-up of the Stromberg phone, the ITT key phone, the like/automatic electric key phone.